What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, it's our big 100th episode.
100! We've been talking about this forever.
It's so crazy, man. So crazy. It is jam-packed. We have special guests out the ears, man.
We do.
It's wild.
We do. I'm just shocked people let us stay around for 2 years.
I know. It's been so crazy. Man, we started from just a little 30-minute show, and now look at it.
I know. We couldn't even fit this opening in a 30-minute show anymore. It's like crazy. It's so crazy.
So everybody knows we've been teasing it all week. We have Jason Ritter coming on for the guest interview this week.
Oh, man. So excited.
So excited. We have Autumn Reeser coming on for our top 5 segment. And guess what, guys? Our forever guest is back. The one and only Rebekah Kennedy is going to co-host this thing with us. What's up, Rebekah?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me back. And congrats on your 100th episode.
Oh,
Thank you. I want to drop a little knowledge for all the fans out there, and maybe even for Rebekah, who might not know either. Rebekah's first appearance, y'all, our forever guest, her first appearance, April of 2018, episode 12.
Damn.
Episode 12. Yeah, that was it. And since then, since episode 12, here's the crazy thing. You're averaging about every 13 episodes you show up on the show.
Well, that's hopefully good for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, are you kidding? Have you seen the response on Twitter? People are so happy you're on here, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
they're excited that you're co-hosting.
Fans get super excited every time you come on. They're like, yes, the forever guest, the forever guest. So great.
I can't, the hashtag is forever. So.
Exactly.
It's true. Or at least for as long as this show goes, right? Like, as long as they let us keep doing it.
Oh, man. But yes, of course, we're going to tease a little bit of what we got going on in industry news. Of course, we're talking Disney.
When do we not talk Disney and Netflix, right? Like,
it's so crazy. WarnerMedia, they're starting some new things. And you can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
And then, of course, I'm going to admit it, right here on the 100th episode, we're talking about my man crush, Patrick Dempsey. I'm excited to talk about him for CBS Viacom.
No,
McDreamy.
Yes. Yeah, McDreamy, and he's so McDreamy for J-Lo, you don't even realize. He really does have like this obscene man crush on him. So.
I'm just trying to get him on the show, Rebekah. I'm just trying to get him on the show.
One day.
That's right.
Exactly.
Maybe when he loses all the hair and he's like, he's just, okay, I'll come on the show.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Well, before we get this thing started, we got to plug our website and our merchandise link, crazyantmedia.com. Click on the merchandise link and start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got the new and improved Bonk. You can get a Bonk beach bag now, guys. Oh, we've been teasing it for so long, but they look great. Especially if you're going out to Walmart out in California.
Exactly.
You got to pay that 10 cents for a bag. So
if you can find them, Target, you can't even get a bag. It's like you better bring a bag, so bring a Bonk bag, right? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Well, we're going to get this thing started with some somber news. It seems like the past couple weeks. It's been started kind of slow, but this week, the legend himself, Kirk Douglas, passed away. It's so crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like, Hollywood icon.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about legend, right? Like, you're talking the golden age of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was basically like, y'all, like 103, first of all.
Yeah.
103.
Lived a great life.
I want to live to 103.
Right.
So, but, I mean, he was basically like the first big movie star before there were movie stars, I mean, it's crazy. 75 movies and 92 overall acting credits.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What do you think, Rebekah? You going to get there? 92 acting credits?
I mean, that's really impressive. And, it's hard to even imagine living to 103.
Right.
What a full, great life he had. It's always obviously sad when someone passes away. Always. But it's nice when you know that they've had a full life and they had a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And a legacy. I mean, you think about, come on, the Douglas family's like Hollywood royalty.
Yeah.
And it's such a positive legacy. And I mean, like all families, they had a little bit of turbulence here or there, but overall, I think it's an astonishing legacy, and he's going to be dearly missed. It's a big loss for Hollywood, no doubt.
Agreed.
Yeah, he was incredible.
But now it's time for some fun stuff. Let's get upbeat a little bit. Disney, of course, we're talking Disney. Disney Plus has delivered an impressive 26.5 million subscribers since November 12th, guys.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
That is so crazy. And through the end of the year, so that's not counting all the way up till February, till today. That's just from November when it launched to the end of December, 26.5 million subscribers.
Well, I am one of those.
There you go. I was
we are too.
Us too. We were just about to ask you, if you were a subscriber. So, of course.
Yeah.
Hulu, also 30.4 million subscribers, and if anybody doesn't know, shame on you, because if you listen to our show, you should definitely know, Hulu's now completely controlled by Disney.
Yeah.
So between the two of them, you're talking, 56, almost 60 million subscribers to Disney's streaming services.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, I feel like a huge part of it is because everything they brought out the vault. Every old content that they had put out in the past comes and gets put on Disney Plus. But now all the original content that they put on, like Diary of a Future President, and I just watched Togo with William Dafoe, one of their original movies. We watched the live action Lady and the Tramp.
Yep.
They have some good original content out right now.
And they're just getting started.
And you can't forget The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
No.
how could we forget? That would be so bad.
Yeah, no, Emily Swallow's gonna kill us.
Exactly.
I mean, that was so fun to talk to her too. But you're right, and Funko just released Baby Yoda, now the all-time most sold Funko Pop.
Yeah.
So definitely Mandalorian is killing it. Well, I mean, but. You think about it, Marvel, oh my gosh, and we're going to talk about that in a second too, brilliant marketing through the Super Bowl with Disney Plus and what's coming up. They were all worried about could they match Netflix, could they, but I think, and we talked about this so much, and Disney's that marketing machine. They're globally known, so I think that immediately coming out of the gate helped them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely ready for more original content as well, so I'm definitely itching for the Marvel shows that are going to be coming. I kind of wish they were coming a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
But I understand the production and everything, but I'm definitely going to be ready for some more stuff that I haven't seen. It's always fun to go back and watch stuff you have, but you want to see also stuff that you haven't seen.
Definite. Especially the Marvel shows, because we're all total Marvel geeks here.
Yeah,
so we're so waiting for that to come out.
I mean, just that little teaser trailer of WandaVision. It looks so cool. Alternate reality. Are they possibly gonna jump off of Doctor Strange, the sequel to Doctor Strange, and do the alternate reality stuff where it's different scenarios? So I'm pretty excited.
But you know what my favorite part about that whole little teaser trailer was? I mean, it opened awesome with Sam throwing Cap shield into the tree, clearly practicing. But we saw Scarlet Witch in her actual Scarlet Witch costume.
Yeah.
I was so freaking pumped for that. I was but you won't have to wait as long as you thought, Rebecca, because they did announce just recently Falcon and the Winter Soldier is actually going to debut in August, sooner than originally thought.
Yeah, it's still a long time.
It is a long time. She's a true hardcore fan. It's too long. Mandalorian.
But sooner than we thought.
Exactly. Mandalorian season 2 in October, and then WandaVision in December. So I mean, that's they're loading up for the end of the year.
Yes, it's going to be a good end of the year. I'm not ready for the end of the year yet. But
Right? We just started.
Oh my goodness. This next one, I don't know if you saw it, Rebecca. We did not see it, so I'm super pumped that this is happening. Disney is bringing a film of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton to the theater, and it's the actual original Broadway cast.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was filmed during a live performance. The director actually filmed this thing during a live performance before all of the original cast members left. So it'll be like you were there at the show, but it's going to be on the big screen. Epic. I mean, because how many people weren't able to get tickets to see that thing?
Exactly.
So, did you see it?
It won't be quite the same as seeing it live.
No. It's not quite the same, but I'm going to see it on the biggest possible screen I could see it on. Definitely. And and try to pretend that it was there. It'll be great. $75 million they paid for it to get the rights to it. Yeah. Disney ain't playing around. $75 million.
No, I mean, it shows obviously that they're focusing a lot on Disney Plus and the box office, because we talk about each week that they're breaking box office records. It seems like every week. Almost all of their movies last year crossed that $1 billion mark.
Yeah,
So,
like what?
it's crazy.
Nine movies
Yeah.
passed the $1 billion mark. It was insane. They controlled nearly 60% of the entire box office was Disney.
Yeah.
Like that's so crazy to me. Are you a Disney fan? Like, do you mind that Disney like rules the world and that the mouse holds the keys to everything? Because you see, I mean, I'm sure you see. You have a really strong presence on social media and everything. There's a lot of haters out there that are like, Disney owns everything. We hate Disney. You know, not me. I'm a fan.
I love it.
No, I'm a fan. I mean, more power to them. If they just keep, if they have the money and the power, like, why not?
Exactly.
They're going to do what they want. I think that they're smart and that they make movies they still make the Pixar, they still make the movies for kids. Of course, adults, it's great for adults too, like Toy Story 4 and all those.
Yep.
But then they also have stuff that's geared towards adults.
Exactly.
So they don't just have stuff that's for little kids. So I think they're smart in that.
Good point. Definitely good point. Oh, this next one. Speaking of, I don't know if I'm excited about this or not excited about this, only because of what seems to be the current state of Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Which is not all there, I don't think. But Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm, confirmed that the studio is indeed still working on a 5th Indiana Jones movie, that it will be a continuation of Indiana Jones's adventures, picking up a little bit after Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and it's not a reboot because there were some rumors that it was going to be a reboot. She then also reiterated Harrison Ford is definitely involved and signed on, and Steven Spielberg is definitely returning to direct it. So there you go.
I think it would be pretty cool if they were able to like pass the torch in some sense.
Yeah.
Like if they found somebody, or if like Shia LaBeouf came back as his son and like take over.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
But did you see? Not going to happen because Harrison Ford said Indiana Jones dies with him, and nobody else.
No one else.
Yeah, he was exactly.
Wow,
he was adamant, and Kathleen Kennedy basically confirmed that, saying when Harrison doesn't want to do it, that's the end of the franchise.
Wow.
Like, so I'm just thinking, I mean, have you guys have seen him in interviews and stuff lately? I mean, he just seems not, I don't know, like can he do a whole Indiana Jones movie? I'm just not even sure. He crashed his plane a little bit ago, remember?
Like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, just, I don't know. Yeah, I love Harrison, but I'm a little worried about him. Just like, do you want to do an Indiana movie? I don't know.
Right.
I guess we will see.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure he stays okay, especially for some stunts. I mean, Indiana Jones, there's a lot of stunts in those. So
seriously. And he used to do all of his own stunts. So I don't even know. It has been pushed back. I don't know what the deal with that was. It was supposed to come out in May of 2020, but now it's pushed back until July of next year.
Gotcha.
So maybe he needed a little bit more time to heal after Star Wars. I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
It was epic though to see him in Rise of Skywalker.
It was.
See him pop up.
It was
a really exciting moment for me.
Yeah. Okay, Rebekah, fan of or non-fan of the final one, Rise of Skywalker? What'd you think?
I liked it. For me, all the Star Wars movies, like, I go in and I want to be entertained.
Yes.
And if I'm entertained, then for me, they did a great job.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I expect out of those movies, and I was highly entertained. I thought it was really fun. It was really cool to see the characters come back, and I overall just really enjoyed it.
Did you have a heart stop moment when you thought Chewie died?
Right.
I mean, I figured that they weren't going to no, I don't think they're going to kill him off. Like, this feels weird.
You're so much better than I was, or Logan. Well, I don't know. I mean, didn't you think?
I almost shed a tear.
Yeah, me too.
I thought, like, no, the last one.
I thought for sure the Wookiee was dead, but then I was happy because he's like reuniting with Han, and it's all good. But no, it was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, that's really pushing it if they kill him off.
Right.
That's for real. All right, I know you're excited about the next one.
Oh yeah. I'm bad at pronouncing names.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. Yeah, I almost put a Mick instead of Rick.
Yeah, no, that's a totally different person. Mick Moranis.
Oh my goodness. He's in early talks to appear as Wayne
Selinsky.
As a
Yeah. So
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep. You guys, they're getting ready to do a reboot of it.
Yeah.
Or a sequel to it. Yeah. Do what?
I'm so excited. I love that. I mean, they had like 3 of them, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, the first one was definitely the best. But But I remember like going, I think it was Disney World, I think it was, and they had the whole Honey, I Shrunk the Kids area.
Yes.
And like slide down the leaf and
right. Yeah, it was epic. And apparently they're going to get him. He's in negotiations to come back. They weren't too sure about that at first. Remember, I know Ghostbusters tried to get him to come back for this next Ghostbusters that's coming out, and it didn't happen.
Yeah,
he said no.
He kind of took like a big hiatus, it seems like. I'm a big fan of the Watch Mojo videos on YouTube, and he was one of the actors that kind of like hit his peak and then kind of just took a huge break. But it's kind of cool to see him come back and see what he's up to.
Yeah, he said he kind of wanted to walk away and raise his family and just be a normal guy. So I think that honestly, the last time he appeared in anything, aside from doing a little voiceover work or whatever, was the last Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie, Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves. So been a while.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's true. Let's see what else. We already talked about the big commercial during the Super Bowl for Disney Plus's Marvel shows. Oh, this next one. All right, I'm throwing out conspiracy theory here, and I'm just saying it. If you guys saw Scott Derrickson dropped off as the director on Doctor Strange 2, so that had a lot of people worried because it's getting ready to go into production pretty soon, and they were like, uh-oh, we're just a couple months away from shooting and we don't have a director. And it's supposed to be linked, to WandaVision. So, and then Wanda's going to show up in Doctor Strange 2. So everybody was kind of freaking out. But it appears, and this is huge news, for comic geeks especially, Sam Raimi apparently is going to direct Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, and again, what? How do you not know? Sam Raimi is the guy responsible for the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. Yeah. So, pretty freaking pumped. It's got a lot of people happy that he's coming on to direct this film. But here's my conspiracy theory. J.K. Simmons played J. Jonah Jameson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
Right.
And for everybody who knows, J. Jonah Jameson popped up in the latest Spider-Man film, and it was J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
So I think Sony and Marvel have been planning this from the get-go about merging the Sony Spider-Man universe and the MCU together. The plan was always building towards a live-action Spider-Verse movie, and that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have always been in the plan, and this is it. I think Sam Raimi was always going to direct this movie and lead it into the mixed universe.
So when do you think it started? Like, when do you think the plan started?
I think from the moment they worked out the deal for the first Spider-Man appearance in Civil War.
I just feel like that's a lot of thinking. It is going into it. And maybe after everybody was putting out the theories of, it would be awesome to see a live-action multiverse Spider-Man, like all of them come together. That's when I think the stuff started going.
Did you like the animated film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, when it was all the different Spider-Mans? Did you like that one?
I did really like it.
So would you be?
I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. So would you be cool with like a live-action version of that, where we had like Tom Holland Spider-Man and Tobey Spider-Man?
I think that would be really interesting to see them all in one movie together, playing the same same character. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. I think you and every Marvel fan in existence agrees. So I definitely do. So I am excited though. The real question is though, with Sam Raimi now directing, the only question left is, will Bruce Campbell show up in it? Yeah. Because he's in everything Sam Raimi does. So will Bruce Campbell show up in it?
Maybe a cameo.
Definitely. He should totally be Ash.
Yeah.
It would be so funny if he was Ash and all of a sudden merged the Evil Dead universe with the MCU.
Right.
That'd be so epic. Okay, that's total geek fest. All right, moving on. Mike Coulter. Speaking of Marvel stars, Mike Coulter has signed on to appear in Hulu's Monsterland. So, boy, he can't get away from the horror stuff lately. It's going to be a horror anthology from Annapurna TV. Gothic Beasts is the name of the episode that he's going to be in. Mm-hmm. And for everybody who doesn't know, he was Luke Cage in the Marvel Netflix series. And he's on Evil right now, which is doing really huge on CBS. That's why I said he can't get away from the horror stuff right now. But
I'm a huge fan of the show Evil. CBS. I think it's really interesting and different, and I hope to be on it one day.
That would be pretty epic. I mean, you do have a history with horror and supernatural, like crazy stuff. So I think it would be perfect for you.
Agreed.
Honestly.
Thank you.
Oh man, and you going toe to toe with Mike Coulter? Come on now.
Yeah, that'd be
pretty badass, right?
just putting it out into the universe.
Yeah, no, and of course, after the show, we're going to tweet it everywhere. Rebekah Kennedy needs to be on Evil. She needs to go toe-to-toe with Mike Coulter.
We'll start the campaign.
That's right.
The campaign.
Yes.
And we will, because you're our forever guest. We take care of you. We're going to do it.
Oh, my goodness. But we were teasing this next one at the beginning of the show. WarnerMedia, Warner Brothers, and HBO Max have announced the creation of Warner Max, a new film label that will serve as a feature production arm for the streaming service that launches in May, which is super exciting because I feel like it kind of keeps everything organized.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Because as we know, Disney's still doing Walt Disney Pictures or Pixar, or their main film studios are also providing content now for Disney Plus.
Right.
But Warner looks like they're going to go the opposite route and say, you know what, we got Warner Brothers Pictures and New Line Cinema and all these, but they're focusing on theatrical. So now this new studio is going to focus strictly on making original films for Warner Max.
Yeah.
I mean, for HBO Max.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 10 mid-budget movies a year they're talking about making specifically for HBO Max. I think it's a good idea. I mean, because if you're tasked with trying to make so many movies, and we know now Disney's just crushing the competition at the box office, so you've got all the stress of even trying to compete with Disney at the box office on top of trying to make shit for your streaming service.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine it could get pretty hectic. So the idea that you've got a studio that's only task is the streaming service, I think is a good idea.
Exactly. I mean, it takes less off of your plate, I feel like.
What's your thoughts, Rebekah, on original films on streaming services?
I mean, I think that's great as an actor because there's just more and more opportunities for actors to be in stuff now, which is great for us.
Do you think they should be Oscar contenders? Should they not be Oscar contenders?
I mean, I think that if just because you're on a streaming service doesn't mean that you should not qualify. If the movie is good, the movie is good. And some movies just won't do as well at the box office if that's the only thing they do. If they're only there, they're not going to find their audience the same way as if, you're scrolling on Netflix and you're like, hey, I don't have to leave my apartment or my house and I can just watch it. Because now it seems like, most of the movies that do really well at the box office are like either action or horror or like Marvel, and it's really hard for just, a lot of times like just a drama or even a comedy sometimes to do well. So it gives a platform for those movies to be and still be cool.
Agreed.
And just I want to speak to one of the things that I thought was pretty shitty too, when people say, well, those aren't real movies or they shouldn't be qualified for Oscars or not. To me, you're slapping the face of every below-the-line crew member who worked on that film, somehow saying you're not as good as or qualified as somebody that worked on a theatrical release. That's ridiculous. Exactly. Most of these people are the same people that worked on the theatrical releases. So to somehow say that it's not the same or not a real film is just ridiculous to me. If you spent $50 million or $100 million budget on a film, just because it's for Netflix or if it's in the theater, it's still a film. Exactly. I mean,
it still takes the same amount of time, the same amount of effort, the same amount of work. You're still making the product. You're just, where it's going to do well.
Yep, exactly.
And I mean, of course, we're huge Oprah friends. Oprah fans.
Oprah friends, that would be the goal one day, yes.
We were friends with Oprah. But we are huge fans, and this story has been talked about for the past couple weeks, which is super crazy. Following Oprah Winfrey's exit from this project, and I'm talking about On the Record, the one that deals with the Russell Simmons sexual assault cases, that documentary, the one that went to Sundance.
Yeah. I mean, Oprah dropped off of it, obviously. It was supposed to be part of Oprah's Apple TV deal, and then Oprah kind of dropped off of it, and she said that there were some allegations that were towards a certain individual in the film that she didn't feel were backed up enough. Not Russell Simmons, it's a different person that they're talking about. Maybe somebody that was aware of what was going on and facilitated or whatever. But she just felt like she wasn't comfortable enough with that particular section of it moving forward because she didn't feel it was verified enough. I think a lot of people forget Oprah comes from journalism. Right. So she's got to be one of those, it's got to have 3 sources, it's got to be verified, and she just didn't feel comfortable. So she dropped off of it. I guess HBO Max feels comfortable with it though, because they picked it up. That's what the story is now. So they kind of shopped it around, and HBO Max has picked it up. And Russell Simmons, y'all, he has tried hard to kill this thing. Yeah. So I don't know how well it's going to play or not play. It would seem the R. Kelly stuff and like all the Weinstein stuff, it all plays really well whenever they document or do anything like this.
Exactly.
I think people are kind of like, it's that train wreck you can't turn away from.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look how successful the Ted Bundy stuff was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's one of those things where people are disgusted by it, but want to watch it.
Yeah.
They can't help but want to watch it.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like this case in specifically, he's still working. I feel like he's still doing everything he was doing before the allegations. So he's really just trying to push this thing into the closet so nobody hears about it anymore. But hopefully there is wide range of people that see this and take into account what he has possibly done. But we also need to make sure to file it legally as well. I mean, it's just going to be a hypothetical piece that's put out until it's filed legally, because you are innocent until proven guilty in this country. So we need to do that as well. If he has done something wrong, we need to try him.
Exactly. Unless you're the victim.
Yeah.
And then you're just like vilified.
Exactly.
I still want to talk about that a little bit, because the Weinstein stuff going on, this poor woman, again, the recent witness, was just hammered because apparently they had emails where she had a friendly back and forth conversation with Weinstein, but she was terrified of him.
Yeah.
So she wasn't, and they just relentlessly, hammered her about being a liar. She wasn't raped, that she wanted it, and like all that. To me, it just drives me absolutely insane that when we make the victim the bad guy in these type situations. I mean, God bless you, Rebekah. I don't even know what it must be like to be a woman in the industry and kind of have to deal with this kind of stuff on a daily basis, because everybody likes to talk about how it's improved or it's gotten better, but it still exists, and I can't even imagine. Much kudos to you for even trying to deal with it, because I don't know if I could.
Well, and I understand that, when you're dealing with someone that has that much power at that time and that much control, even if you're uncomfortable, a lot of times we will laugh it off or be polite because you want to work.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's right, but you're like, you're going to be polite and kind because you don't want this person to blacklist you or whatever you think is going to happen. So that doesn't make a person a liar because they were polite to the other person. I think that, if there was one allegation against him, fine, but there's so many.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And that's a great point. Just because somebody doesn't remember a certain part of the attack or they were friendly afterwards or whatever, like you said, does not make them a liar. So I hope that we can get better at not making these victims the bad guys. That's just so crazy. All right, that got heavy again, but let's lighten it back up.
Sorry guys, sorry.
That's right.
It's time for McDreamy. Let's talk about. He's returning to television, guys. He has signed on and to star and executive produce in Ways and Means, a newly ordered drama pilot set up at CBS with Nina Tesler.
Yep.
The network's former entertainment president attached. Ways and Means revolves around a powerful congressional leader, Dempsey, who has lost his faith in politics and who finds himself working secretly with an idealistic younger congresswoman who works for the opposite party. So this is very relevant.
This is going to be interesting. I'm a huge politics fan.
Exactly.
I'm that guy who watches C-SPAN and watches all the debates and everything. I am a huge Patrick Dempsey fan. I don't fangirl over him like you do.
You should. You should.
But I am a big fan. You're way back from Can't Buy Me Love. You remember that one? No, because you weren't born. It's okay.
Whatever.
But I'm excited about this. It is very relevant now and what's going on in politics, and somebody who's become disillusioned with the game and how it's all working, and can he reach across the aisle and kind of, get some stuff done. I don't know. Sounds I like political thrillers, so I'm hoping this works, and, who doesn't want to see him back on TV, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
we need Patrick Dempsey on a weekly basis.
I can't disagree. I don't know him. He seems very nice, and he's nice to look at too. So he's a great actor. So.
Hence why everybody wants him back on TV. CBS, that was the same thing when they made the pitch. He's nice to look at. Let's sign him. Andy can act.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now he's McDreamy.
Which obviously is much more important that he's a good actor.
Exactly.
Put that out there.
Sure. Let's put that out there.
But I can see him in a political role, though. I mean, he did
definitely.
great as a doctor, as a neurosurgeon. So I could definitely see him in a sophisticated neurology. Political role. So
sometimes I feel like you need to be a brain surgeon to be a politician these days. So maybe.
He plays like the suits like very well.
Yeah.
Like, he's really convincing, as you buy it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but he also played like a yard guy on the back of a lawnmower really well way back in the day. So he's just a great actor. Let's just say he's a great actor.
Right.
All right. The love fest continues for Patrick Dempsey.
Right.
It's
I'm
all
making
good.
a sound clip of just the love fest. Okay.
Speaking of, CBS has also got Lincoln Lawyer coming. A television series based on Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey. The movie, not the series, won't have Matthew McConaughey. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. Right. But they will have Lost alumni Kylie Sanchez. She's apparently going to join it up as Mickey's ex-wife and office manager. So that's going to be. I'm a huge fan of the movie.
Yeah.
So I hope that the series does really well. You can see it's starting to ramp up. I think that, and I credit all of this to our co-host Rebekah here. But the huge success of Law and Order and Law and Order SVU, you just kind of see like this push for legal shows now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's trying to capitalize on the police procedures dramas, or the courtroom dramas, because they're hugely successful.
Exactly.
I mean,
all because of Rebekah Kennedy.
That's right. I mean, come on now. Book of Esther. Come on.
They do. Yeah, I think they do well because every week it's a different story, and it's they can push as far as they can, and it's exciting, and people want to tune in every week to see what's going to happen, and they can I think they work pretty well.
And they hire amazing actors like yourself. So it's true. It's true. So
Yeah.
maybe you'll show up on Lincoln Lawyer. We don't know.
You never know.
If you pop up on Evil for CBS and you do a great job, which we know you will, it only makes sense that you move to another one. You've already been on Criminal Minds, so I mean, right?
Exactly.
It's just like, come on now. You're CBS's favorite.
Come on, CBS. I'm waiting.
That's right. That's right. Adam Bernstein is executive producer. We'll reach out to Adam. We'll be like, come on now.
Right.
Let's get this done. All seriousness, though, if you haven't seen Book of Esther, Law and Order SVU with Rebekah, watch it. It's
Definitely.
Insane. It is intense. It is crazy. Don't try to snatch a candy bar.
Don't do it.
It's crazy. She will kill you. No.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. Thank you. It was awesome.
Oh my goodness! This next one, is this really an Expendables Christmas movie?
Yeah. It's an Expendables Christmas movie. Are we gonna have the whole Die Hard thing? Is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie?
It is. But the long-awaited fourth installment in the Expendables franchise is finally headed into production this year, guys. Oh my goodness, all the badass 80s action flick stars were all in it. And I mean, we got some new people like Jason Statham. I love that dude. This new film, The Expendables: A Christmas Story,
Yes.
is going to focus on Jason Statham's character Lee's Christmas.
See, so it's a double meaning, because his name is Christmas, and it's basically the story is focusing on him and his background and his stuff. So that's the Christmas story, but then it's also going to be set during Christmas, which makes it a Christmas story. So it's two meanings behind Christmas story.
That's hilarious.
So my question is, do we want this? Is Expendables... I remember that for a long time there was supposed to be a female spin-off of Expendables, like an all-female version or whatever, but do we need another... I mean, it's not like the latest Terminator or Rambo did massively successful numbers at the box office. So do we want to keep seeing these 80s like action stars back in these movies? Statham, I guess, is still doing pretty good, which is maybe why the focus is Statham. Yeah. But apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone are going to be back.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it makes sense because isn't it one of their movies? Isn't it Stallone?
It's Stallone's franchise. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Another action movie. Yay! Like Rebekah said, another tentpole action movie.
Yay!
I'll watch it. I like action, so
exactly. As long as it's entertaining, honestly. Like we went and saw Bad Boys this week, and like it was just another Bad Boys movie, and it was entertaining. Like as long as it was good, you just don't think too much into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
think they were having fun, so I was
Exactly.
having fun.
Absolutely. And I just want to see Stallone be Stallone, though, like in real, because right now he's got like this huge gray beard,
Yeah.
and like he let his hair go all gray and everything. Like, let's see that Stallone on screen.
Right.
Don't dye the hair and like all that kind of thing. Just be Stallone, and like, yeah, I think it would be epic.
Like, it's okay to be old.
That's right. It's okay to be old and wise. It's good. It's good.
Goodness.
Oh, this next one. This isn't it. Well, okay, we all know faith-based movies are like killing it right now at the box office,
They
right?
are.
Like that you can produce them and make them at a relatively low budget, and then they're just raking in the dough at the box office. So it only makes sense to keep making them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lionsgate's going to make one. They've greenlit a movie about Kurt Warner.
Oh.
NFL Hall of Famer Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
And it's basically going to show, and it is from the same people who did I Can Only Imagine. It's basically going to follow his rise from when he tried to be in the NFL and didn't make it, and he was basically stocking shelves as a grocery store clerk,
Yeah.
and then got the call to come to, the Rams, and,
wow.
and went on to win Super Bowl and,
That's cool,
MVP. So, yeah, I mean, it's inspiring.
Yeah, definitely. I think another one down the line that we could possibly see as well is Tim Tebow with the football and baseball career. So you never know. You
Yeah.
never know. And I mean, like you said, they're doing pretty well right now with their mainstream success.
I think they're really inspiring, like the stories, whether you believe or not, whether you're, believe in faith or not, or whatever your belief is, I find the stories really empowering and inspiring.
Agreed.
Exactly. See, I always like your thought process on it. Just by saying that, whether you believe or not, you can still be inspired by a story, or
Exactly.
somebody's ability to overcome something, and you don't have to admit one way or another what your religion is. It doesn't mean you can't be inspired. Well, and like I said, Kurt Warner's an inspiring guy anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his story is one that could play well on the big screen, honestly.
Yeah.
And I mean, because it was a pretty cool overcome, and you can still live the dream and have it happen for you. So I don't know. Him and his wife are going to co-produce. They are involved on the producing side of
That's
it too. So that'll be cool.
Definitely.
I mean,
I'm really excited about this next one because Goliath is just killing it right now for Amazon. But J.K. Simmons and Bruce Dern coming on as series regular.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's going to be epic to see.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and we got James Dumont's been on it. We know Kevin Weissman
Yep.
was on it. Our boy Spencer,
He about to be
Spencer
on
Garrett,
it?
he's about to be on it. So who hasn't been on this show? Because it's an awesome show. And see, there's J.K. Simmons again. J. Jonah
Exactly.
Jameson. I'm just saying.
So, J.K. Simmons is so good.
Oh my God,
good.
he's so Whiplash. I think will always be my favorite though.
Yeah.
So intense in that film, just amazing in that film. And of course Bruce Dern. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Always fantastic. Okay, and then so Netflix has got to try to top it.
Of course.
I think this next move, Netflix wants to remind people they weren't the reason these shows were canceled. The Marvel shows were canceled.
listen.
It was Marvel. We love these guys. So Vincent D'Onofrio, old Kingpin himself, and John Bernthal. Yes, John Bernthal, the Punisher himself.
That guy.
Yeah, they're going to be teaming up again for a Netflix movie along with Richard Thomas, John Boy, and Sandra Bullock and Viola Davis in a new thriller for Netflix.
That's cool.
That right there, you don't even have to say anything else.
Exactly.
With that cast, why wouldn't you watch it?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, just saying.
Don't need to know the premise. Just let me see it.
It's about Sandra Bullock coming out of prison and then not being able to like acclimate back into society, I guess.
Oh, shit.
So I don't know, but
Sandra Bullock being a badass after Bird Box. Like,
That's it. I don't know. You had me with Vincent D'Onofrio, John Bernthal, and Viola Davis. I'm just
Yeah.
like done. I'm watching it.
All right.
So
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
yeah, I mean, come on now. Toni Collette, who's also was amazing in Knives Out. She's having a big run lately. Also, she's been signed on for a Netflix movie, lead role in Pieces of Her. She won a Golden Globe for Unbelievable on Netflix.
Yeah.
So Netflix is sticking with her. I mean, obviously, smart move.
Definitely.
They like that. Look, I think this is what we were talking about just a little bit earlier. Netflix grabbing all these huge name stars to make films.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it doesn't matter where it's at. If you can get this kind of talent and put together these type casts with these storylines, you're doing something right. I mean,
Agreed.
so...
Agreed. Well, one of the hit shows is finally coming to an end.
I'm so sad
After
about this.
Season 5, The Crown. It is actually coming to an end. But, I mean, we still got a lot of story to be told, so don't be weary, guys. We still got a lot of story. I mean, we got Diana, we got Charles, we got all that good stuff coming in season 4. I know you're still watching season 3. I kind of dropped off.
I am.
How's it going?
It's okay. It picks up a little bit.
Does
I was Team Claire Foy. Yeah. I don't think they should have replaced her. But anyway, that's not me. I think Olivia's doing a solid job. That's Olivia good. Colman. I did find out, though. Are you a fan, Rebecca? Are you a fan of The Crown?
I am.
Okay.
I am. So I have to say I'm a little behind.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I am a big Claire Foy fan. I worked with her briefly in Season of the Witch. Got to meet her, and she's so lovely.
Oh, fantastic.
Big fan.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, they're ending. They've decided it won't do 6 seasons. It's only going to do 5, and it's going to end with the whole Diana and Charles thing instead of moving past that. And here's the reason, though. They finally released it's money. It did come down to money. Wow. They said it's an extremely expensive show to produce. Yeah. And the stars are asking for more and more money because of the popularity of it. Yeah. And they just feel like this would be the right time to dump out of it and not continue forward with it because of the viewership is starting to drop off from the first couple seasons. And so they weighed the cost of ratio to the viewership ratio and just feel like that's a good stopping point is season 5. Not unusual for Netflix. Yeah. I saw that 55 original shows from Netflix have been canceled recently over the last year and a half or so. Yeah. Of those, only 9 of them made it to season 3. Only 5 of them made it to season 4. So they're famous for like dropping them after a couple seasons.
Yeah, which really sucks. Because I feel like they need a little bit more time to grow that fan base, but if they are like swimming in debt, kind of like Netflix is, they're trying to figure their shit out in wake of the streaming wars. So.
It's true. Speaking of, here's a couple that they canceled after 1 season. They canceled Spinning Out, which was the ice skating drama. Yeah. About a young Olympic figure skater who was trying to make a comeback after an injury, kind of a thing. So that was gone after 1. And then Soundtrack, which was supposed to be picked up by Fox, but Netflix saved it and picked it up. But it's only got a 38% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently was not doing very good, so it got canned after 1 season. Man. So I guess if you're lucky enough to get a season on Netflix, run with it, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
They're just scouring, it seems like. They're just trying to find, like, the right thing. The Witcher got picked up for season 2, which is a huge show right now. Henry Cavill is doing amazing. So I think maybe that one might make it further than season 4.
Right.
But, we saw with Grace and Frankie, the furthest they go is, like, season 7. And I think Grace and Frankie only gave, like, 10 episodes per season anyway.
Yeah, so. And they just got rid of BoJack Horseman and, like, all these epic shows that they're, like, ditching on, man. I was a huge friend with friends from college. Yeah. I thought it was, like, I
love that show.
Yeah, it didn't. I thought it was a great replacement for Friends, and then they just dumped out of it with a cliffhanger and everything. Like, what? You can't just leave it like that? I was bummed about that one. Netflix is doing better than Apple, though.
Yeah.
Apple TV, the morning show, remember it was kind of hammered by the critics and not, kind of subpar. Fewer than 10% of everybody, Apple device owners, meaning anybody who has an Apple device that's eligible to get Apple TV or a subscription for it, fewer than 10% actually signed up for it.
Ooh.
So
that's surprising.
When you think about everybody that's got an Apple device, an iPhone or an iPad or or a Mac, at home, the desktop or whatever, and fewer than 10% signed up for it. And it's like one of the cheaper streaming services. Yeah. So
it's like $3 or $4. Like I'm kind of surprised by that, honestly.
I am too.
I was expecting so much more from their streaming service. Honestly, personally, I have not given it a try. I have not watched any of their shows, so I don't know. Right. But that kind of sucks. They're trying to compete, and it's not working out.
No. And, this one I'm excited about, though. Apparently, O'Shea Jackson Jr., old Ice Cube Jr., he's going to step into the lead role of Swagger, apparently, which is, from Kevin Durant from the NBA. He's taken over from Winston Duke, who apparently hurt himself on set, while filming, so he's stepping in to take over. I'm excited about this one. It's basically a autobiographical Kevin Durant's story.
That's cool.
About how he came up on the playground, and kind of had a rough life coming up, but made it to the NBA kind of a thing. So, and then of course you got, I guess that's the answer to HBO Max's Lakers series coming. So
yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's trying to capitalize on that sports stuff, man.
Exactly.
It's a huge growing industry, so it makes sense. But I mean, YouTube is doing really well. I mean, they generated 15.1 billion, that's with a B, guys, in ad revenue in this fiscal year of 2019.
And $5 billion alone of that in the last quarter.
Exactly.
So like that is crazy. And they actually are doing pretty well with their TV service, YouTube TV. More than 2 million subscribers signed up for it. And it's $50 a month.
Yeah.
So that really goes to question what's going on with Apple.
Yeah.
If a service that's $50 a month can sign up 2 million subscribers, what's going on with Apple, right?
Exactly.
Like,
I credit a lot of that to Cobra Kai, because that seems to be like their hit. So
agreed, and it got renewed again for another season 3. Rumor has it, girlfriend there from the first season is Elizabeth Shue is coming back for season 3.
Oh wow.
It's about time. I've always wondered, like, where is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, well, you a fan, Cobra Kai, Rebecca?
I am a fan.
I'm excited.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see, Quibi. Have you heard about Quibi yet?
I have briefly.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about it yet.
Yeah, it's I guess just like this streaming service strictly for your phone. It's like completely mobile type thing. But they are lining some people up. It seems like every week we've been talking about Quibi lining up some big people. This time, John Travolta is going to star with Kevin Hart in a comedic action series called Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay, at first when I heard this, I was like, no, why? This is not even going to work. This is going to be awful. But the premise is actually hilarious. It's about Kevin Hart's going to be playing himself, a fictionalized version of himself, who's sick and tired of being the action sidekick, like to The Rock and everything. So he wants to be the main guy, the main action star. So he goes to this world-class action star school, which is taught by John Travolta's character, and he has to go through all these series of tests and all this crazy shit to become the action star that he wants to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it because Kevin Hart trying to be the main guy action star is going to be fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be funny. He's definitely found his little niche, though. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Kevin Hart in like every Jumanji and the, the Fast and Furious spinoff there, Hobbs and Shaw, just like everything he's done with The Rock has been hilarious.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's going to be a good one.
Agreed, man. Agreed.
Whew.
Sounds really fun.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that would be a fun one for Rebecca.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could be like a hardcore instructor along with John Travolta at the school.
Exactly.
I mean, I just, come on.
Have some badass martial art moves. Like
Rebecca will be like holding out the candy from Kevin Hart. Like, she'll just bring back Esther. It'll be badass. It'll be cool.
Oh my goodness. Well, now guys, it is time for our guest segment. We got the one and only Jason Ritter coming on to talk about his career, parenthood, about Alex, A Million Little Things, and so much more. This guy just had a kid.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him on that. Man, this guy is just so humble, such a down-to-earth person. Like, I can't wait for the fans to hear this one.
Seriously, it's an epic conversation, and he's just got to be the most down-to-earth, nice guy I think we've ever talked to.
I agree.
Like, seriously, I mean, it's so weird, but anyway.
Yeah. Here he is.
Jason Ritter, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, our pleasure. Dude, what a year you have had, right? I mean, we're talking A Million Little Things, Frozen 2, Raising Dion. Like, dude, you're killing it, man.
Seriously.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been a wild year. It's been pretty great. I also became a dad around in that time, so it's all. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, dude. So even more so, we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us today.
Definitely.
I got to tell you, we run polls periodically to see who our listeners want on the show, and you are consistently at the top of the list or near the top of the list every poll we run, dude. So
nice.
Yeah, they're going to be thrilled to have you on the show.
They really are.
That makes me so happy.
So what we like to do normally, but we're going to kind of change
change this one up a little bit because of the history of the family and everything. We like to say, "Oh, how'd you get started in the business?" and what made you do this kind of a. But with the history of obviously a famous family, and kind of like, was it something that you just kind of knew you were going to be a part of, or did your dad try to say, "No way, dude, don't do it," or like what was that like? I mean, a famous grandfather, famous father.
Well, I think I got the benefit of since I was the third in line. My grandfather had already had the talk with my father of like, no, don't do it. Like, I'm doing it, and I know that, but don't, say not as I do. He wanted my dad to be a doctor or a lawyer or something.
Right.
He like really wanted. He was like, this is not a business that you can count on. It's fickle. It changes. Just don't do it. My dad was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then he did it, and he loved it, and he got his father's blessing to do it eventually. But I think that was I think he had the sort of philosophy. He and my mom had the philosophy of kind of, instead of doing that, just sort of giving the same sort of speech about it and saying it's really tough. But if it's really what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. I'm going to just help educate you about it, and just before I get into it, just know that it's a world of constant personal rejection,
Yeah.
self-doubt, and but he also, I think he had the understanding that if it does end up being like a true passion for somebody, then they're not gonna listen either. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. If I had been saying I want to be an actor as a code for I want to be famous or something like that,
right,
then it would have been different. But he understood that they both understood that I really wanted to do it, and I really loved it and had a great time actually doing it, and wasn't like, oh, I just want to be an actor. All this line memorizing and character stuff is so boring. Can I just get photographed?
Right. I'm so glad you brought that up, because a huge block of our listeners are people trying to get into the industry. And I think there is this whole thing about, do you really want to, or do you just want to be famous?
Exactly.
Because there's a difference between actually wanting to do it. So I'm so glad to hear somebody say that and come on and say, hey, look, I didn't want to be famous. I actually wanted to act. I wanted to do this. So, and then of course you've got siblings too who went the singing route, like Grandpa, instead of the acting route. And so I think it's just awesome, dude, that that I was a huge fan of your dad as well. So I just think it's great. Yeah, I'm older than you might think. So shh. J-Lo over here, Logan, he's the young guy, but we won't say my age. So that's fantastic, bro. And then we're such huge fans, because what do we got? Parenthood, Gilmore Girls,
many.
So many questions just about that, man.
Yeah.
You're one of the dubious fellas who actually was the leading man for both Gilmore Girls, dude.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I know. I was nervous about that, but then the one that the show that I worked on with Alexis, it never really aired here, so I didn't have to. It was all like preliminary interviews and stuff like that, where I was fielding those questions.
Yeah,
but then
right.
I didn't have to do the actual. But no, that was so much fun, and it's always fun, like when you know somebody who knows the person that you're about to work with, and they can sort of, put in a good word for you, and they were both so nice about it. But yeah, we laughed about that.
Yeah,
I bet.
So, do you get those questions like which Gilmore Girl was better? Like,
I have got some of those questions.
And did you smartly divert? Did you defer the answer? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's no good or right answer to that question. They're both so lovely and incredible in different ways that there's no kind of way to there's no way to qualify which human being. But they both were so amazing to work with, and I love them both.
That's great, man. That's great. Even my mom in Parenthood, she was watching it, and she was hoping that Lauren Graham was going to end up with Mark instead of Ray Romano, and I was pulling for it, man. I was pulling for you.
Thanks. It's so funny, you as a recurring character, you don't know sort of either. You know, kind of like when you know that you're going to be in every episode as like one of the main characters on a show, you're sort of like, okay, well, even if they, you know, no matter what happens, I'll continue to be on the show. But it's a strange sort of feeling as a there's an element that sort of mimics your real life, which is like, oh my gosh, if we break up, then I don't get to see these people anymore. You know, I'm out the door. I'm like, and also you just have no idea. Like sometimes, you know, it can go one way or the other, and I don't think anyone really knew exactly what was going to happen. But in a lot of those scenes, I did feel like I really was fighting for the relationship.
Well, and I tell you what, it came across that way. One of the things I think everybody's a huge fan about you the most is your characters are always so endearing. You're rooting for your guy like all the time. You know, and we were like, no, come on, not Ray. Exactly. And then, but I mean, I guess viewers agreed. You were nominated for an Emmy for the appearance. So I mean, dude, come on, man, that's awesome.
That was awesome. That was crazy. Yeah.
That's how good you are. What's it like going toe-to-toe with Lauren Graham, though? I think she's got to be one of the most underrated performers. Honestly, I can't believe she has not won and been nominated either. What's it like going toe-to-toe with her? Because she talks fast, bro.
I can't believe it either. She does talk fast. She is... she's brilliant. She is so funny. She's so quick. She's such a wonderful actor. The way that emotions kind of just show up on her face, like it's like a little subtle, beautiful ripple of, you know, like everything that she's feeling kind of shows up, and has such a wonderful understanding of humanity and love and beauty, and I think she's such a wonderful person on top of being a wonderful actor, and that really shines through. And I mean, I was so scared initially. I was so intimidated and so nervous, especially because it started out in the first season. I was just supposed to have kind of three episodes, 3 or 4 episodes, and then it would be done. And initially it kind of is like a blind date or something where you could show up and it could just go seriously wrong, and then you just have to like muscle through the remaining time with the person, and there's no sort of click. But she just is so wonderful and magical that all I had to really do was listen to her and watch her, and because she's such a wonderful actor and she's always in the moment, and also the way that show is set up where there's so much improvisation. There's this beautiful script that's the backbone, and you stick to that, but then you have the freedom. If there's like a little moment that you can go off script and get, then it's they don't discourage that. And so I just it was amazing to have a scene partner like that, so fast, who could really like make me genuinely laugh in the moment, and and I didn't have to think anything. That whole period of time, I just was truly enjoying the person that is Lauren Graham.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That is awesome. Yeah. So okay, I mean let's jump around a little bit. Let's start with Raising Dion. Like,
oh yeah,
I loved Raising Dion. I know Logan loved Raising Dion, and one of the main reasons I really liked it is because no one saw you as a bad guy, bro.
No one ever.
like that just wasn't even on the radar. Normally, we pride ourselves on being able to watch things and like catch the plot points and you're gonna be surprised. I no way saw that coming, bro.
Able to predict things, but not this one. Was not able to predict that one.
I literally was on the sofa watching it, going, "Not Jason Ritter, not a bad guy." Like, no, it was crazy, bro.
That was so much fun, and that was a kind of when we went into that, and I had talked to Carol Barbie, who I know you guys talked to as well, who's awesome, but they had this whole plan from the beginning, and so before we even started the first episode, I knew where it was going, and it was so hard for me to just be like, it's a secret. I felt like that character on Saturday Night Live. It was like, but it was really fun. It was fun to kind of have a secret and to sort of when I was writing out all of the things that happened, I also was plotting out. It's like, so this is what's happening behind the scenes that only I know.
Right.
But feeling a little bit better this morning because I just absorbed someone last night.
Right.
So, a little bounce in the step, things like that. But it was so much fun, and it was so much fun to be the guy and reveal that, and then to watch people's reactions on Twitter. There are a lot of WTF,
Yeah.
things like that, where people are like, "Oh, I like Pat. I don't know about Pat. He's kind of weird." Like, oh my God, I hate this guy.
Right.
It was awesome. It was fun.
I was just a barrel of mixed emotions about it. I was like, I love this, I hate this, I love this, I hate this. It was just crazy. His pad was badass though, dude. The whole brick old warehouse looking. I was just like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah,
I want to be Pat. So, I know.
Yeah, that apartment was amazing. When they showed me that, I was like, okay, Pat.
Yeah, exactly. Evil villains do well, bro. They do well.
They do. They have good taste in movies. Some of those posters, I was like, all right.
Yeah, and I mean, you had some great scene partners in that series. I mean, you got Josiah. He was amazing. I love the interaction
so
between
fun.
you guys. Like, it was so good. And I mean, plus Michael B.
He's so amazing.
And you guys that's a double connection because both of y'all were on Parenthood.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. That was where I initially met him, and I saw Parenthood. That was the first time I had seen him. I hadn't seen Friday Night Lights yet at that point, but he blew me away as that character.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we did a pilot together after that didn't go. And in the time where we would have been shooting that pilot, he got Fruitvale Station, and it just changed everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude.
But he's always been that guy. I mean, he just was like, you just meet him and you're like, this is a movie star, and he's so grounded and real and connected, and he's such a good guy, and it was really exciting to get to come and be his best friend / betrayer.
Right?
Slash, I want your woman. Oh my God! So yeah, of course, Alicia Wainwright. Let's talk because man, that scene in the alleyway when she comes out of work and you're like, not happy with the way she's been treating you. That was intense. That was one of my favorite scenes though, where because you're starting to get that glimpse that maybe Pat's not so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It started to all unravel at that point. Yeah, it was very strange to do the last couple episodes because we had so much fun all of the other episodes. We were laughing and joking about how awkward it all was and trying to find the balance of this is like a guy that might have a little crush on her and maybe she is somewhat aware of that or maybe not, but she also really appreciates what he's been doing for Dion and she's kind of up against the wall anyway, and so it was so fun to be on the same team for so much of it.
Right.
And, but she also knew it was coming for the whole time. So there would be times where we'd have this fun, nice scene, and then she'd be like, I can't believe that you're doing it.
That's fantastic.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
No, one of the weird things, too, when we talked to Carol that she said that we thought was just really kind of crazy, she treated you guys as two different characters. Like, she had Pat, and then the villain, and she would storyboard them and script them side by side, she said, as two completely different characters going. And the whole approach was just like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
because it wasn't in the comic book, and so I remember talking to Dennis, created the whole thing, and he made the short and everything, and he was like, yeah, when I realized Pat was the crooked man, when I realized they were taking it that direction, he's like, did that thing where he looked to the heavens, was like, no! He was really excited, and he loved it, but, it's amazing to, have gone through several phases of development without, deciding, oh, actually, what if this was the bad guy, and then laying in some of those things, and they really did such a good job of subtly kind of laying in these little things where if you watch it a second time, you're like, oh, okay, actually, yeah. There's some, you see some of these little things in the writing, and these little ways that Pat kind of is like, oh yeah, you can cheat as long as nobody sees you. Like, just don't get caught and you're fine. Then there's no moral problem.
Well, okay, so let's see, Logan. Let's take a poll. I was rooting for you because I thought she was kind of leading you on, bro.
A little bit.
I thought so anyway. I just felt like she knows you like her, and she's like playing that. I feel like she was like giving you every sign, and then was like, "Oh no, I just thought she did you wrong, man."
I appreciate that. Well, I think that's like such an interesting thing about it is that we have these. I think we have these relationships in real life where there are, I think she is truly grateful for Pat, in her life, and I think she truly likes Pat, and I think there maybe even was a possibility in her head that something could have happened at some point, and then it's like, when he goes for it and he does that kiss, sometimes it like takes that moment to go,
oh,
you know what?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's like I could totally see myself with Pat until the kiss.
Yeah, and what have you been eating? That was.
Do I smell garlic? I mean.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's that painful thing, but that very real thing of like, what if it's been going well so far or something, but then somebody just doesn't like you,
right?
Can't. It's like what's that song? I Can't Make You Love Me. That's that very, very sad, tragic song. It's true. You just can't manufacture, and then and then those emotions can turn into the more kind of toxic, like, well, you owe me. You lied to me. I thought there was like something happened or whatever, and it's like, well, no, I went down the road until I realized that this road was not the road I wanted to be on.
Exactly.
And I can't fault someone for that. But yeah, it's all so painful and tragic.
So we got to ask, and we know we're going to get shut down quick for this, but we got to ask: does Pat make a comeback in season 2? I mean, the way it ended, you're like, can he come back? Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, I'm so happy they got a season 2. Hey guys.
All right, well, we're calling up Carol. We're calling Carol right now and saying you got to bring him back somehow. Like, it's just got to.
No, I can tell you now that I am coming back.
Yes.
Carol has a plan for Pat that I am as of now unaware of, but I can't wait, and I trust her so much. I think she's so thoughtful. I mean, she had to tie so many threads together the course of these 9 episodes, and now I think we're doing 8 more episodes, and she's just like she weaves a good story. Everything that you're supposed to kind of believe and be worried about who's the bad guy, or Biona good or bad, and all these. She really is good at playing with the audience and kind of and weaving a good tale. So I can't wait to see what she has in mind.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Well, okay, so I want to talk about some other things too, because like I said, I've been a fan of yours for a really long time. About it, I think I first saw you on Joan of Arcadia, honestly, like just way back. But I heard a rumor that might not have been your very first appearance on TV. So I'm going to ask you about that in a little bit, see if that's true or not. About Alex, dude, and our very own, just 2 like hidden gems that I found way back that I try to get everybody I know to watch, because I just think they're 2 like fantastic films, and I'm like, guys, you got to watch these films. They're fantastic. So About Alex, that's intense, right? Yeah, talk about that. What's it like to play like somebody in that situation, suicide, and you got all these college friends coming and like, what was that like, man?
It was that was an incredible experience. I read the script by Jesse Zwick, and I knew he was going to direct it, and we had a meeting, and I just, the thing that I loved about it so much was it felt really it felt true to me. I've had a couple of friends who have attempted suicide, a couple guys that I knew from high school who did actually, die by suicide, and and it's always such a shock, and it's always so painful, and I thought this was such a beautiful exploration of that, and there was a lot of emotions that I felt after my friend's suicide attempt, where it was like a combination of feeling guilt and shame that I didn't see the signs or I wasn't there enough for them, and then also anger and at them, and to me the script really hit all of those things and felt true to that scenario, as opposed to sort of maybe exploitative or anything like that. It just felt, and the relationships all felt really drawn out and beautiful inside. But yeah, it's basically the way that they were describing it was like the Big Chill, except the guy survives, and
right.
So but I thought it was so interesting that they all come to sort of support this guy, and largely kind of all talk to each other, and he's just kind of this ghost
agreed
wandering the house, and no one's kind of thinking about it until they finally do.
Exactly. Agreed. Because I thought that was one of the good things, because you do associate, you said relationships with the other people, but they all started finding things in their own relationships because of having to go through this with him, and the different thing. I thought it was just so well written, and I think it touched on that.
Yeah.
And that scene where he first comes in and he opens and realizes the blood hasn't been cleaned up out of the bathroom yet and everything.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's how you start the film, like pretty much near the beginning. You're like, damn, this is going to be intense, but just really, really good, man.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, that was again, like Jesse's directing and writing. You see my character in the bathtub, and then you don't really know. You see him come back from the hospital, and he's sort of bandaged up,
right?
And no one, you don't know exactly how bad it was until you see that bathroom, and you go, oh, this was not for help. This was a serious attempt, and it's darker than you could have imagined. And I love that movie. I know there's these independent movies, that and Our Very Own, and some others too, that I just the script was so beautiful and moved me, and I jumped on board, and it goes to festivals, and some people see it, and but it's tough to reach that larger audience.
It is
indie film, and so it's so nice when somebody comes up.
Well, I'm going to keep pushing both, man. I'm going to keep pushing both. Our Very Own, similar kind of situation, not the suicide, but I mean, your character again, his family not so good. I mean, you were going through some serious shit in that movie too, like.
Yeah. Well, I thought, and for that one, I thought, like, I feel like almost everyone can sort of identify with. They're the two halves of the movie, which are this group of teenagers who have these dreams, and they want to, be whisked away to Hollywood and all this stuff. And then this one character is dealing with his father's alcoholism and is ruining, they're repossessing his furniture. They might not lose their house, and I thought that was so well done. Cameron Watson, who's such an incredible director and writer, he wrote that and directed it, and yeah, just to me, that thing of escaping from your family life into the world of movies or dreams or any of that is I think something that a lot of people can relate to, and how important friends can be in those painful times, and when you're just trying to sort of hold on to a dream to forget reality for an hour or so.
Absolutely. And the chemistry there, I mean, you'd swear you guys were all like real lifelong friends. I mean, the chemistry between all y'all was fantastic. Allison B. Janney, first of all, as your mom, holy shit, that must have been epic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then but the chemistry between you and Autumn Reeser was just phenomenal as well. When she saw you were coming on the show, by the way, she said to say hi. So hi, Jason.
I love her so much. She's such a sweet and lovely person.
Yeah, well, I've been saying forever, you guys need to be in something together. I like the chemistry there was so good. You guys need to carry it over to something like current day. That'd be awesome.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to work with her again. We've done a couple some thrilling adventure hours.
Yes.
But yeah, she's just so awesome, and I would work with her again in a single heartbeat.
That's fantastic. All right, let's jump into it, man. A Million Little Things, dude. The storyline between Eric and Gary and Maggie has been intense, bro. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Raising Dion, honestly. Like, Eric, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he both? We don't know. Man, what the hell, bro?
Yeah, as anybody who watches that show knows, it gets super intense. It's, you know, they're not afraid to go to the dark place. I mean, actually, a lot of similar themes about Alex.
Yeah.
You know, so
I have a family member who I'm not going to name who's not very happy with you on A Million Little Things.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, I knew I was coming into, I was so nervous because I know how beloved that relationship between Gary and Maggie are on that show. And I was like, I was so happy when there was an episode where I was like, hey, I think I'm sort of messing up your relationship in your life, so I'm just going to step out for a bit.
Like, yes, finally.
Gosh. Yeah, no, it definitely is intense, and I have no idea how people will feel. Maybe people will like me more. Maybe people will be more angry with me, and maybe a combination of both. But it's been super fun to play this sort of complicated character because, you know, at first it's kind of like, there's it's like misunderstandings. He's not a bad person,
right.
But just even his presence is sort of like messing things up between the two of them. And you know, I think they wrap it up in such a interesting way. I'm excited to see what people think.
Definitely. All right, so what do you got coming up after A Million Little Things? Because I mean, dude, like seriously, right now you've got to be like one of the busiest guys in Hollywood.
Yeah, seriously.
Pretty soon I'll start working on the second season of Raising Dion, and then I'll what Pat's doing, and if he's hanging out with that the farm kid.
Yeah, right.
I love that. Hey, I'm just hanging out with the farm kid. I haven't possessed him or anything. Just hanging out with him. That's good.
Yeah, good old time. You know.
Everybody needs a mentor, and now let's do it this way.
Sure. That's right. Let's keep it good. He's just a mentor. That's all. That's all.
Exactly.
Okay, so now for the rumor. Are you or are you not the little bright blonde-headed kid in the opening of Three's Company with the goat?
That is me.
Wow. Dude, like, again, we're not going to say that I'm old enough to have seen those actually back when they aired. But wow, okay, good to know. Noted. So the blonde hair went away, but for anybody who doesn't know, I think it was like season 6 or something like that on. He's the little blonde kid with the goat with Joyce DeWitt. Yeah. Now you know.
Yes, exactly. It's in the zoo opening credits.
Exactly.
So I toddled on over. I actually wasn't supposed to. I just sort of, I wanted to see a goat. And then they just kept it in. So yeah,
that's fantastic. Just one of those accidental things. It's like, just keep it. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were going to be shooting these little things at the zoo all day, so it was a fun little trip for a son, and then didn't expect to jump in there, but I got out of my mom's grasp.
Like most toddlers will do.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Exactly.
So how's it?
Apparently, that same day, there's this sort of there's this moment where my dad kind of is looking at a lady, and he gets distracted, and he kind of falls back into a cage, like he kind of
right.
And apparently, right after he did that sort of funny face, and they cut. One of the zoo guys came over and was like, "You cannot do that. That's an orangutan cage, and if they see you," like he was apparently in real danger and had no idea. He was doing like a silly joke, but they're like, "Yeah, it like the orangutan was like, what? He's on my side of the fence. What do I do? Do I kill him? Do I?" So I'm glad the story from that day is that I ruined a shot, and not that my dad got into a fight with an orangutan.
Right. What was it, a Harimbe or something? Yeah. Jason's got a John Ritter Harimbe story back before. That's like crazy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I know. To end in the death of a poor innocent orangutan, that would have been bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that he did that though, and not even know he was like one of the greatest physical comedian actors I think I've ever seen. But like that shit when he takes the drugs and goes flying and mixes it with the alcohol. Oh my gosh.
That's one of my favorites.
How can it not be, right? Like, oh my gosh, man.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Well, and I think, and especially in that episode, you see his dedication to making you laugh, like there's nowhere he won't go to just get a laugh. He's not like, is this how a person would really react?
Right.
Like, what is the funniest? What is the weirdest? What is, the moment where he kind of feels fine and then he goes, like, makes this crazy face and crosses his eyes and it's so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. And that's just, he just had that drive, like, throughout, our whole life. He just was like, what is the most ridiculous thing I can do, and often didn't think about the consequences. Like an orangutan is right behind you, just like, oh, is this funny? Okay, I'll do it.
Exactly. Well, like father, like son, dude.
Potentially dangerous.
Yeah, like father, like son, though, man. Like you could just see the intensity and the love for the craft and what you do. I think it just really shows in everything that you do. Like I said, we've been huge fans for a long time.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that.
No, dude, not at all. I mean, not a problem at all. And what we like to do at the end of the show is kind of like have you pass along some advice that you would give for people trying to get into the industry and maybe some pitfalls to avoid? Because like I said, we've got a lot of listeners out there trying to do what you do. So what would you pass along?
I would pass along. I think kind of going back to what we were talking about at the very beginning of the show about being famous versus being an actor. I think one of the things that I had to realize, because when I first was doing it as a kid, I think I really did just like the attention and like people clapping and looking at me, and and so I as I got older, I really kind of had to re-examine my motives and things like that, and I realized at a certain point that if I was able to do this in any capacity, even, in someone's backyard with my friends, and just say, hey, can everyone sit down? I have 2 hours or an hour and a half, just like I came up with this thing, that I would be happy doing that. And I think if you can make sure that you are happy doing the actual thing and not putting your happiness on something that may come or may not come, because the fame part is a byproduct that either comes or does not come, or can come when you're 60, or can come when you're 16, or
right.
You have control over that. So if you love the actual thing and creating and being around, the collaboration of it, the excitement of creating something with people that you like, then I think that's a good indicator to keep on going. And then if there's nothing wrong with just wanting to be famous, but I think there's easier, or I don't know, just go on, be on Instagram, or I don't know. There are lots of different
be a social media star, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or do something unspeakably horrible.
Yeah, basically.
Like mentor a farm kid. I don't know,
Exactly, like turn into a big lightning man.
That's right.
A lot of people. We got attention. And then the other thing that I would say, like advice, is I think there's a lot of there's a lot of different opinions, and there's certain things, and there's a lot of I don't know. I feel like people can get like kind of misled and sort of pushed out into the weeds in terms of like, quote unquote experts being like, this is the best headshot that you need to get, so you need to spend this much money, like, or things that are kind of about the business, but not the sort of the core thing of the business.
Right.
And I feel like if you work hard enough, and you're really dedicated to your craft and things like that, you can have the worst headshot in the world, and they won't be like, well, he was great, and then we saw his headshot, and it just didn't have that.
No, I wasn't going to cut it.
So I think it's important to like hear those things and maybe listen, but also remember that that's not necessarily the most important thing. You can like be totally coiffed and look amazing, and then you're like, oh, I forgot to watch humanity and learn about the condition of being a person, and I don't know how this character might react, or I don't know, things like that. So I would just say, watch a lot of movies and get heroes and just do what you love.
I love that.
me too.
Exactly. Just do what you love.
Exactly, and don't worry about how you look. It's good. It's good.
I mean, I understand. That's sort of an important part. I've been told a couple times, like, hey, so for this next audition, can you comb your hair or so you don't look like you just rolled out of bed.
It's like
important. They're like, it kind of is just it's a little important.
it's like I'm a new father, okay? You know, like it's just. Well, and congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's like the greatest thing in the world, isn't it? Like the birth of my daughter,
It really
it's greatest moment of my life and my best accomplishment by far. So, a huge congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you.
It's pretty. It's amazing.
Yeah, it changes your life forever, man. I got to tell you, but it's in the best possible way.
Absolutely. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Exactly. Well, listen, man. Again, you're a new dad. You got all this stuff going on and everything, and you took the time to come inside the Crazy Ant Farm, talk to us, and we can't thank you enough, man. Like I said, we appreciate it. We know the listeners are gonna love it, and just thank you so much, dude.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for doing this, and I love you guys. I love the whole vibe of the Crazy Ant Farm and all the people who listen to it. There's just this sort of positivity and energy, and I appreciate that it's being put out into the world, and so I'm so thankful to you guys.
Awesome,
We
dude.
appreciate it.
We really appreciate that, man. Wow, that was
I know,
like
it
really
touched home.
tough.
It touched
See,
home.
he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad. Oh man. Well, listen, dude. Have a great weekend, man, and just like anytime, open invite. Anytime you want to
Seriously.
come back, talk about anything, or just join us for a top 5, whatever, dude. You let us know, and you're on, man.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Awesome, dude. Well, take care, bud.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Jason Ritter, everyone.
Wow.
Right there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
He's as nice as he really. I mean, he's like Jason Ritter is Jason Ritter.
I know.
It's
Epic.
so fun. Even more so, how genius Carol Barbie was, right? It's
Yeah,
like, oh no,
exactly.
the only person to play this ridiculously evil person is Jason Ritter.
Jason Ritter.
It's like, what? No, he's the nicest guy ever.
Oh my goodness, that was so great.
Oh
though.
my gosh, yeah, a lot of fun.
Definitely. Thank you again, Jason Ritter, for coming on the show. All right, now it is time for our top 5 segment, and oh man, this one was really hard, but we gotta welcome back our special guest for the top 5 segment, and of course we got our co-host with us, the one and only Autumn Reeser and Rebekah Kennedy. What's
Yes.
Hello.
up, ladies?
Welcome back, by the way. The second appearance,
For Autumn,
for Autumn. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks for coming on for the 100th show.
I mean, I had to be here to celebrate.
We are happy that you are, definitely. We still get comments left and right about the first interview. People love you, so we couldn't be more happy that you're on here to do this with us. So thank you so much.
Oh, good. My pleasure.
All right, let's jump in. Do we want to let the ladies go first? I think we should let the ladies go first.
Yes.
We haven't even said what it is yet. It's
I think top 5 books.
top 5 favorite books. Look, nobody wants to do it. This one was really hard.
It was.
It was really hard.
I mean, so much different genres. I don't know.
All right. So, okay. Who wants to go first, ladies? Rebekah or Autumn?
Oh my gosh. I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Take one for the team.
All right. Autumn going first then. All right.
Okay, this one, this is hard. Like, I have runners up, but so I'm just going to have to, like, make a decision. I'm going to start with, oh, man. I was trying to start in order, right? And go, what's, like, a book that I really loved when I was younger? Like, and I think I'm going to end up landing on To Kill a Mockingbird.
There you go. To Kill a Mockingbird.
Because that's the classic. I think that's actually the only novel that I have in my group.
All right.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful book. What else? There's not much more to say about it. It's beautiful. I'm pretty sure I wrote my senior thesis about it, but who can remember? It's so long ago.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay. Mine was a little bit longer, but it's okay. It's all right.
okay.
She was like, it was last week.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. What's your guys' favorites?
Oh, wait. No, you don't have 5?
I'm going with all of them. I thought we were taking turns.
Okay. Autumn is come in and she's taking control. She's changing how we do it. It's okay.
Guys,
No.
Listen.
All right, fine. Rebekah, number 5.
Well, I also, so I'm going to preface this was really difficult to choose, and these are my I have so many more books that I love as well, so I'm going to put that out there. And they're not in particular order, but I also picked To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. See?
The greatness.
Exactly.
I wanted to pick at least one that was I read when I was younger, and rest of mine are more up to date. So yeah.
I love how they both said I wanted to pick one when I was younger,
Right.
as if they're old.
Yeah,
Like,
get out of
like,
here.
come on, guys.
Yeah. Let's put it that way.
I wanted to pick one when I was older too, but I couldn't get it off the cave wall to it was okay.
It was stenciled
It was
in.
stenciled in. I couldn't read it anymore. I couldn't even tell. It's okay. All right, J-Lo, number 5.
Oh man, I'm going with The Old Man and the Sea. Oh, I just love I love the comparisons between if the old man is Jesus and him making the boat and then his interaction with the young kid. It's just, I have a lot of fiction novels on mine. So, yeah, this one is definitely my number 5.
All right. My number 5, I chose Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson.
Oh,
I just thought it was an extremely fascinating biography, like just this really intense look into this man's life, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, no furniture. He had a room with like absolutely no furniture. He would sit on the floor and just like, you think about all these like crazy things he did with, so adamant about the design of the iPhone and like all this, crazy intense stuff. But the guy was just very simplistic and very, it's a really interesting read if you haven't read it. Really cool.
It's just, I'm so glad that you guys picked this subject. I'm going to get all of these new books to read.
Definitely, see? That's our goal.
I changed my mind. Like, I'm trying not to buy any new books this year because I literally have a stack right here that I put outside my office of 25 books that I keep buying them. Do you guys do this?
Yes.
You just keep being like, oh, I want to read that book, and then you buy it, and you're like, I have 20 ahead of it.
Yeah, do you find yourself, I find myself too, I do that exact same thing. I buy the books and then I put them up on the bookshelf and everything and it looks all great. And I go back and read a book that I've already read before I read the new book. It's like, I don't know why I do that, but I do sometimes. Okay, number 4, Autumn, it's you, number 4.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a play because it's my favorite play, and I feel like my list wouldn't be complete without it. Burn This by Lanford Wilson.
Oh, good.
They just did it on Broadway with Adam Driver and Kerry Russell, and I did not get to go see it, but I know the whole play by heart. Basically, I just think it's a beautiful play. If you haven't read it, it's great. Read it. Burn This.
Burn this. All right. It's everybody taking notes. Like exactly. I think Autumn had the idea. Everybody write down. We'll all swap books. This is going to be a new book club. Right. It'll be fantastic. It'll be great. All right, Rebekah, number 4.
All right, so number 4 for me was a book called The Testing.
Okay.
And for anyone that doesn't know what it's about, quick summary is basically kind of a dystopian kind of future. And when you graduate from school, certain amount of candidates are chosen to take what they call the testing, and they're all vying for basically 20 seats in a university setting. So not everybody gets to go to college. And there's like 4 rounds, and they're all really, really difficult physically and like mentally. So it was a really interesting book, and a quick story about that. After I read it, I tweeted the author, as you do.
Of course.
Telling her that I really enjoyed it, and she thanked me, and we started following each other. And then when she's been to LA a few times, we actually have met up and got to talk. And then she took me as a guest, me and my husband, to like a literary, where I got to meet a bunch of authors from things I've read, and it was really cool because I've never been in a setting like that. And so she's awesome. So I definitely, Joelle is her name, and I recommend the book.
Awesome.
That's cool.
That is very cool. The power of social media, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean, it's so amazing. All right, J-Lo, what you got?
Oh man, it was so hard to narrow it down to one, so I just put the whole Harry Potter series.
The whole Harry Potter series.
All of them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was just so difficult. I mean, I love what Daniel Radcliffe did with the film interpretations, but I'm also like, I just love the books.
The real question is, who do you love more, Harry Potter or Patrick Dempsey?
Haha. That's a hard one.
No, I know. All right, let's see. My number 4 was The Ride of a Lifetime, Bob Iger's new book.
Yeah.
Just because everybody knows I'm a huge comic book geek, so the whole Marvel storyline and how he incorporated Marvel and the whole push as to how he basically redid a Michael Eisner with Saving Disney, and when it was kind of like on the edge of, teetering, and now we all know it rules the world. So,
yeah, exactly.
but I really like it because it goes deeply into his personal life and how he makes his decisions and what goes into his thought process about running this giant empire. And it's a lot more simple than people think.
Yeah.
He's just really this average guy who kind of makes decisions like all of us do.
Exactly.
Except he's running an empire.
Except,
so, I mean, so very interesting read. Yeah, I like biographies. I'm a biography guy, so,
I'm learning that.
Yes, yeah, the more you can learn, right? Learn from everybody that you can cherry pick, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I do.
Absolutely.
All right, number 3, Autumn.
Women Who Run with the Wolves.
Ooh.
By Larissa Picola Estes. So beautiful and mystic, and it's just a gorgeous book.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I will definitely write that down.
Yes.
It's really learning. It's beautiful.
I know. Everybody's got their pen, like, jot this down, jot
Exactly.
this down. It's like, it's good. It's good. Rebekah, what you got?
So it's keeping with the young adult theme for this one. I'm going to go with The Hunger Games.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Nice. Especially the first one. I just remember reading it and I couldn't put it down. I just thought it was so just like crazy. And yeah, I mean, all the books are good, but especially the first one for me.
Definitely.
Really. Can I ask how old you were when you read that? I read the book long before the movie was made.
There you go.
Older.
Oh.
Well, I'm asking because my oldest son, he'll be 9 this year, and he's gotten really into reading, and so it's really interesting for me to think about like what age to introduce him to different books, and obviously he's got his own opinions, but it's fun to kind of be like, well, why don't you take a look at this one? And I think that one's probably he's too young for that still, probably, right? I would say, yeah. I mean, I read it as an adult, so I'm not going to try to age myself here, but yeah, but I mean, it depends on the kid. Like, I have a actor friend who's young who reads like horror books and doesn't get affected, so I guess it just depends on your son and what he,
Yeah.
Right
Well,
now, his Minecraft books. It's this like Minecraft novel series, but they're terrible. But he loves them, so I will buy all of them for him.
there you go. I just like how she completely deflected saying her age.
Right.
That's smart move, Rebekah. Smart move. All right. All right, Logan, what you got?
For number 3, I have Tough Shit by Kevin Smith. Oh my goodness. This one is like telling how it's kind of a biography, telling about how he grew up and got started in the industry and how he got started with Clerks and his interactions with Harvey Weinstein, how fucking he was just a little crazy and like brought him to all these meetings that he learned from, but then realizing that this guy was a superficial douchebag. And it talks about his time working with Bruce Willis on Cop Out and just so much good stuff. And I mean, Kevin Smith is an idol of mine, so it was just really good to see, or literally see all these stories while reading the book. So that was a good one.
Awesome. Okay, mine, number 2 is, number 3, we're on number 3. And this was actually a recommendation from Autumn. I found this one from Autumn. The Artist's Way from Julia Cameron, which...
Yay, I'm so glad you said that. I couldn't fit it on my list. It was a runner-up, so yay, isn't it so good?
Yeah, it is amazing. It's really this exploratory kind of a guide for yourself. There's these tests that you take, and it's just, if you were like... feel like you've lost your creative edge, if you're a creator and you just, or even in life, you just feel like you've lost that motivation or that purpose or whatever. This book I highly recommend. And you take these tests and you kind of do these worksheets, and it's amazing to and sure enough, when you finish it, you are like pumped out. You are like ready to start writing again. You are ready to start shooting again. It's an amazing book. So thank you for recommending it way back in the day, Autumn. It was great. And I recommend it again today.
Yay!
All right, what are we at? Number 2, Autumn. Number 2.
It's around to me. Okay, I'm going. You know what? This is a book that I came to late. I only read it last year,
but it made, or I guess maybe the year before that, it made a massive impact on me. Cheryl Strayed's Wild.
Ooh, yes. Now, is that the one they made into the film with Reese? Or
Yeah, which I was, it was fine. I enjoyed it, but the book was a completely different experience, and I think I read it at exactly the time I needed to. I mean, look, it had such an impact on me that I went and backpacked on the Pacific Crest Triangle.
Exactly.
There you go.
I just think, I also just love Cheryl Strayed. I love her writing. I find her so human, and she finds the grace and beauty in everything, but she's so brutally honest too. Really enjoy her.
Awesome. Now that makes me want to go get it and
Right,
read. I'm telling you, this is a great book club. We should just isolate this out of the show and post it as a book club post and let everybody go. It's going to be great. Rebekah, number 2.
So number 2 for me was a book called A Head Full of Ghosts.
A Head Full of Ghosts.
Paul Tremblay, and if you like horror thriller types, I definitely recommend it. It's about a family that has a daughter who may or may not be possessed.
Okay. That sounds intense.
Yeah, right?
It definitely is one that stuck with me for a while, and I don't want to give anything away, because the ending, I was like, holy crap. So
it's okay. We got the E. We have the E next to this show, Rebekah. You can say shit. It's okay.
You're good.
I didn't know, so.
You're all good.
But that's awesome to hear, because I'm watching Supernatural right now, so I'm super into that. So maybe I'll pick that one up too.
Yeah, I think if you're into Supernatural, I think you would definitely enjoy this one.
All right. Who? Okay, well, it's your turn, Logan.
Oh,
what you got?
I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Of Mice and Men. This was one of the ones. One of the first ones I read in high school, and it just stuck with me ever since then. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good read. I mean,
This is a good list. I might need to pick it up.
Exactly. It's a really good list. Okay, I'm breaking away here. I'm going away from my trend that I had. I've got a fiction one, but it's not. It's fiction, but it's also somewhat semi-autobiographical. Yeah. It's Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. It's absolutely brilliant. It's about a young actress who moves out to New York to try to become an actress and make it in the business, and she's just about to give up and walk away when she gets her break in theater and hits it and becomes the star and like everything that she wants to be and all this kind of stuff. But if you're a fan of Lauren Graham, just Lauren Graham the actress, this book it's like you're hearing Lorelai Gilmore or somebody read it or write it. It's just it's so intense and it's so real, and like I said, it's semi-autobiographical about her life and how she made the move out there and tried to make it and almost gave up before getting there.
Right.
And but she's a brilliant author. A lot of people know she's a great actress, but she's also a brilliant author, and I would highly recommend checking it out. Someday Maybe.
I did not know she was a writer until you recommended that book. That's so exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, it's fantastic. It's just a really entertaining read. At one point, Ellen picked up the rights to it. They were going to do a show about it with Mae Whitman, but for some reason it fell through. But the book is absolutely fantastic. I definitely recommend you guys check it out.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. It's back to Autumn. Number 1. Ooh, number one on the list.
Number 1 on my list is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Deep,
yeah.
Exceptional. I love it. It's a go-to.
It's a go-to.
Yep.
All right, and that's about as like a hardcore endorsement that you'll get.
Exactly.
Like it's a go-to. Period.
It's a go-to.
with an exclamation point. It's a go-to exclamation point.
It's a good one to keep coming back to.
There you go. Perfect. Oh, Rebekah, what's your number 1?
Yeah, so I feel like you guys picked all these sophisticated books, and I'm like, here's one about.
Me too. I feel the same way. It's okay.
That's the beauty, though. Look, you're getting a wide range of different reading that you can go to. So that's awesome.
That's true. So my first one I picked was A Monster Calls.
Okay.
By Patrick Ness, and they also made a movie about it. But
it's one of my favorite movies.
Have you read the book?
No, I don't know if I could handle it. I could barely survive the movie. It was so emotional.
Yeah, I don't cry very often when I read books, and I was sobbing during most of the book, and definitely at the end. It's about, if anybody he doesn't know about a young boy who's losing his mother to cancer.
Oh.
I'm getting emotional when thinking about it. It was such a beautifully.
Okay, how much heat am I going to take if I say I've never even heard of the movie or the book? Like, yeah. Well, now I have to.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I have to read the book and watch the movie.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean,
compare.
That's your assignment.
Okay. I'm going to give a review on next week's show. It'll be amazing.
Right.
Yeah, in the
Exactly.
movie, Liam Neeson does the voice of the monster.
Oh.
So it's just
Oh.
his voice, of course. Like, I can listen to him talk all day. So I highly recommend the book and then seeing the movie.
Well, I mean, if both of y'all endorse it, then we're definitely, it's a
seriously.
must, right? I mean, they were about to cry, so I
know,
feel like
right
I have
there.
to see that. I have to read it. Okay. All right, Logan, what tearjerker do you have?
All right. Not really a tearjerker. My number one is The Catcher in the Rye.
Oh, yes, always.
This one came to me at such a pivotal point in my life, and talking to Danny Strong on our show about
Yes.
Rebel in the Rye and talking about that process.
The whole
like,
J.D. Salinger to get to that book. Yeah, it was
like,
amazing.
It was just an amazing, just eye-opening thing to listen to. So yes, that is my all-time number one favorite.
Yeah, and good plug too for Danny and the movie. If
Yeah,
you guys haven't seen the film, it's a really good film. So check that out. Also, that's what we do. I feel like we're very fair balance. Like just it's great. All right, where are we to me? We're to me,
Number
right?
one.
Number one for me. Back to my stuff, my realism stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think this is an absolutely brilliant book. It's Face to Face: The Art of Human Connection by Brian Grazer, and it's absolutely, it talks about the importance of and how basically in today's society with social media and all the different things, people have lost the art of actually communicating face to face. And how important it is to not only speak face to face, but to listen, to watch people's reactions to how what you're saying and what you're doing, and to have actual conversations with people. And the book is really fascinating. He goes out of his way to, he talks about how he sets up these meetings with people he's always wanted to talk to or always wanted to meet, for no other reason other than to talk to them. And learn from them and kind of, it's a really, really fascinating read. And it just really spoke to me because I feel like nowadays everything is all about you're tweeting this or you're texting that, or and we don't sit down and talk anymore face to face. So I just thought it was a brilliant book.
Definitely.
I'm going to read that. Thank you for recommending it.
You're welcome. It's really cool. And then maybe we can have a face to face with Brian Grazer. It'll be great.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fantastic. It'll be great. Oh man, wow, that's an intense list.
That was such a good top five.
That's like 20 books you need to get your ass off the couch and go read.
Exactly.
I mean, you should be doing it. And a couple of movies. I mean, you just throw it out there. Oh my goodness. So, what you got coming up, Autumn? I mean, we can't get you here and not talk about anything that you have coming up.
I had some stuff percolating that I can't talk about yet.
Of course.
I really just came on to talk about books
Okay.
today. I have nothing to plug.
Nothing to plug. Well, even more so, we're grateful that you came on because it's always fun to just have you come on and talk. You don't have to plug anything.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Well, and I have to say it's awesome you did a Hallmark Christmas movie because my mother-in-law, that's her dream for me to be on one. So she's living vicariously. I can live through you.
There you go.
And I mean,
Yeah, it's my grandmother's finally excited about my career.
oh my goodness. Well, this Christmas I finally watched Bramble House, Christmas at Bramble House, and I loved it, Autumn. It was really good.
Yeah. You don't understand. It's like an annual tradition in our house. I make them watch Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade and then the Christmas movies. It's like it has to happen every year. So.
Oh my God, I better not do too many more of that, otherwise your poor family.
I keep telling everybody about Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I said the drunk karaoke scene alone is worth that movie. You should just watch it just for that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just channeling my real life.
Yeah. Okay, we won't bring up the fact that you bolted on the karaoke choices. She's like, not happening. Let's do something else.
I can't do it.
All right, so we're gonna let you go because we know you're busy. You got those things percolating, and you got to go buy all these books. So I mean, come on. So
Exactly, right now.
right now, don't wait, Autumn. We want to see reviews right away. So thank you, though, seriously, for coming on. I mean, the big 100th episode, we couldn't imagine having better people on the. It's been epic, honestly. And like I said, the fans were thrilled that you were coming on, so they're going to just love this segment. And thank you so much, as always, for coming on and talking to us.
You're welcome. Congratulations on 100 episodes.
Yeah, can you believe they let us stay around this long? It's crazy, right?
That's so great.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean, you're a huge part of that. All of our guests have always, I mean, we credit our guests so much because without you guys, I mean, where would we be? Just two guys talking about what? I don't know.
Movies.
Movies, right? There you go.
Talking to yourselves.
That's right. Talking to us. Thanks, Rebecca. That's great. All right, Autumn, like I said, we'll let you go. And just thank you so much. And as always, open invite anytime you want to come on and not talk about anything. You're always welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, you guys have a good day, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was really fun.
It was.
I mean,
really fun.
yeah, and wow, learned a lot of books.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, that was some good stuff. I'm gonna definitely. I mean, yeah. Well, see, now we have to make sure anybody who didn't have a pen, just go back and listen to it and start jotting down.
Hit the rewind button.
Hit the rewind,
and then you'll be good.
There you go.
Oh man,
fantastic.
But now it is time for the box office recap. Oh man, Bad Boys. Continuing to rock and roll at the box office. Like we said earlier, we went and saw it and loved it, and they're coming out with a fourth one.
Yeah, apparently people loved it so much.
They left it open.
Yeah, they did.
At the end, so
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the first two when they came out because I was young, and so I was probably like 11 or something.
Yeah. Careful! You're letting your age go. Everybody's on IMDb right now looking up the release date, going, okay, she was 11, and
I was a fetus.
I was a fetus.
Of those movies. But they're on Netflix, and so I watched them before we went and saw the third one, and it was really fun to. I'm glad I watched them because it made more sense, like to have the characters come back, and it was really fun.
Yeah, they have a spin-off of it, a TV show with Gabrielle Union. She played his sister, remember, in the first and second one, right? Yeah. And her and Jessica Alba have a spin-off series, so it's on Spectrum. So
awesome! I did not know that.
Yeah.
Now I learned something new.
Exactly. That's what we're here for, to entertain and educate.
Exactly. Exactly. That one pulled in around 17.6 million. I predicted 15 to 20 million, so I'm doing way better than last week already.
Yes.
With my predictions. Number 2 was 1917, which is just a phenomenal
film. Gosh, yeah.
If you haven't seen that one, Rebecca.
Oh, I have.
Okay, good.
I mean, isn't that like from a cinematographer point of view? I mean, it's absolutely epic.
Yeah.
Like
it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunningly, and obviously, it wasn't all one take, but they kind of make you think. But even with doing the 9 minutes or however long he did, that's so long for film.
Exactly.
And it's one thing to be sitting and talking. It's another thing to be doing a 9-minute take where you're moving.
Right.
And all of the parts are moving, and all of the background actors have to come in at the right time, and just that's so much. I can only imagine how stressed they were.
Yeah. And two things I really liked about it, the on top of the cinematography, the lighting I thought was absolutely insane. How they shot it all with natural lighting and did all the different type things that they did with that. And then I loved how they opened and closed the movie with the same shot with him under the tree.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so interesting how they did that. And how does that guy not get nominated?
I know.
Does anybody have an answer for that? How does this kid not get nominated? He was amazing.
He was. But yeah, that one pulled in around 9.5 million. I predicted 5 to 10. So whoop whoop, go me. Number 3 was Doolittle. RDJ's Doolittle with 7.6 million. I predicted 5 to 10. That one's pretty good too. I think more people should go see that one. Have you seen that one yet?
I have not seen it yet.
Me either. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. But it is pretty good. It's comedic. It's a good family movie, honestly.
I do like Robert Downey Jr. So
yeah.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. Number 4 was Gretel and Hansel with 6.2 million. I got that one wrong. And number 5, the one that just keeps on going, Jumanji: The Next Level, with 6 million. Last week it had 7 million.
Yeah.
So people are loving this one. Like we were talking about earlier in industry news, The Rock and Kevin Hart just have great chemistry.
Yeah, it's all about Kevin Hart being a sidekick. That's right. Why it's kicking ass. I mean, I'm just saying. It's.
Yeah, I I love the first one, and I really like the second one. It's like I loved Robin Williams' Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going into the first one, I will say I had low expectations.
Agreed. Me
How
too.
Yep.
How do you do this? And I love that they didn't try to make that movie. They made their own movie, and it worked so well, and it was so funny, and they all worked well together. And then you've got a sequel, and you're like, all right, how is that going to work? And it still works. It was still so fun, and just laugh. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Exactly. It's a feel-good movie. Like, I mean, and it literally is the epitome of what a movie's supposed to be, right? An escape.
Exactly.
I feel like those movies are an
From
escape from reality, and you can just sit back and laugh and have a good time, like you said. Oh, man, so good.
I know. But we got a big one coming out this week. We got Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Harley Quinn.
Harley fucking Quinn. I loved her. I mean, they couldn't have picked a better person for a live-action version, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm glad they're staying with her, especially after they're, kind of rebooting the Suicide Squad. So I'm glad they're staying with her as that character. Because, she's amazing as Harley Quinn.
Agreed. Have you caught the Harley Quinn animated series yet, Rebecca, with Haley Cuoco?
I have not.
Brilliant as well.
But I am looking forward to the movie. I do like those a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot of it. It's mind-boggling to me that a lot of people don't know that Harley Quinn started off on Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
She's not from the comic book. She
exactly.
was literally made for one episode of Batman the Animated Series, and she was so popular on that one episode that they wrote her into following episodes, and then boom, the rest is history. So It's crazy, man.
Well, I was one of those that didn't know that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
See, learning new things.
I'm telling you, this has been the most educational episode and we've ever had, maybe. It's great.
Oh my goodness. But movies you can still go see are The Turning, The Gentleman, Jumanji The Next Level, Frozen 2, Knives Out, Bombshell, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Like a Boss, 1917, Bad Boys for Life, Doolittle, Just Mercy, The Rhythm Section, and Gretel and Hansel in select theaters.
Yes, and I want to throw out, if you're a cinephile, go see The Gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh
really
my
good.
gosh.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Well,
Guy Ritchie, man.
Well, at the beginning, you're kind of like, at least for me, I was like, all right, where is this going?
Right. Me too.
You're like, I don't really, because the trailers were kind of weird, and you weren't really sure what the movie was about, at least for me, and I'm like, all right, my friends were saying it was really good, so we're like, we'll go check it out. And at first I'm like, I don't know, and then it was so fun. It was so good.
Agreed.
I loved all the characters. I thought Charlie Hunnam was so good.
Yes, agreed.
At the beginning of the house, you're kind of like, all right, where's this character going? And then when you see him start working with Matthew McConaughey, I was like, oh, so great.
Yeah.
all the acting, Colin Farrell, everybody was so good.
Yeah, right.
Seriously, I think that it was cast perfectly. I just don't think there was a character in it that I didn't like.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Agreed.
Just great film.
Yeah.
Agreed. But number one, I think this weekend it's going to be Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to pull in around 35 to 40 million.
Yeah, no brainer there.
Yeah. Number two, I think it's going to be Bad Boys for Life with around 5 to 10 million. Number three, I think it's going to be 1917 with around, actually, I mixed those up a little bit. My number is up a little bit, but I think Bad Boys is going to get 10 to 15, and 1917 at number three is going to get 5 to 10.
Oh, there
we go. And number four, I think will be Doolittle with around 5 to 10 million. And number five, I think Jumanji is going to stay in that top 5 spot.
Yeah.
So, I think that's going to pull in around 3 to 5 million.
I can't argue. Normally I have an interjection on your list, but I can't. I think that's dead accurate this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now it is time for the IMDbPro Top Trending segment. Top trending movie is, by no surprise, it's 1917.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's talking about that one.
I think that's the sleeper, man. I think it's at the top there because I think everybody's kind of like, that's going to be your best picture.
Yeah. Top trending show this week is still, for the second straight week, actually, Sex Education on Netflix. This one's doing really well. And the top trending star, I'm not surprised since of all the stuff he's kind of getting into recently, Shaun Weiss from Mighty Ducks. Yeah. I mean, which is crazy and super unfortunate and shows the dark side of Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I just feel so bad for him. Like, it's unfortunate because, we talked about this with Catherine McNamara last week. Like, making that transition from child star to adult star can be tough. Like, especially if you're like an extremely popular character that's been kind of typecast,
Right.
and the work starts to dry up for you a little bit when you become an adult. I can't even imagine how tough that must be. And then sometimes it goes down this road, man.
Yeah, been crazy.
It has been crazy.
But anyway, guys, that is our show this week, the big 100th episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it, because I know we did. It was just phenomenal. We gotta thank everybody who came on again. Autumn Reeser, Jason Ritter, and of course our forever guest, Rebekah Kennedy. Thank you so much for your time today.
That's right. Now jot down on the calendar.
Thank you so much I'm sorry, what?
No, I said jot down on the calendar. Episode 113, you have to make an arrival. I'm just saying, mark that down.
Now you're stuck with me for life.
That's right. Every 13 episodes, it's going to be great.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, we couldn't have, when we thought about it, we sat down and we were planning out the big 100th episode. It was an immediate, we can't do this without Rebekah. Like, I mean, you have to have our forever guest or we can't do a 100th episode. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad I was available. So.
Us too.
Yeah, seriously. Be sure to follow us on social media at Crazy Ant Media. We're all over social media platforms. We are now on Pinterest.
Yes,
We've
we're
been
pinners.
saying that loud and proud for the last couple of weeks. We are pinners. And follow us personally, myself at JLo Fantastic, and
Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
And Rebekah, where can they follow you?
On Instagram, you can find me at Becca K, BEKAHK, because someone already had my name, so I had to think of something else.
Haters.
Seriously, you're the only Rebekah Kennedy.
I wasn't quick enough to grab my name. And then on Twitter, Rebekah Kennedy, REBEKAH Kennedy, and
Yeah. And we, as always, will direct everybody there to make sure that they follow you. And Autumn Reeser, it's Autumn_Reeser on Instagram and just Autumn Reeser on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Jason Ritter, same thing, just at Jason Ritter on Twitter and Jason_Ritter on Instagram.
Yeah.
So follow everybody. Follow all of our amazingly epic guests today because, Or else, exactly. Follow now! And us. Don't forget to follow us.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly. And subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. We're basically everywhere, guys.
It's
Podbean, like everywhere. Make sure to visit our website, crazyantmedia.com. What we love, Oprah!